know that I spend so much time teaching language and learning language and all of those things, but I feel like there hasn't been enough attention to what goes into, get you guys set up here, balancing basically everything that I do with work and with studying and with everything else, with balancing those different aspects of life. And so essentially what that looks like is running my business, building up my program and writing my book and doing all of those things, and working with clients, as well as still finding time to study Spanish and to live, to do all of the other things that I need to have time to do in life. So since I feel like really the best way to share this information is to really just to show you what I do in order to have this work-life study balance, if you will, I'm going to be showing you today what my workday looks like and how I integrate in my studies and all of that. All right, so it is just a little bit after noon and I'm getting a little bit late start to actually working today, but I spent my morning doing my morning routine, which I will most likely cover in another video. But I've been up for a while and I have gone through like my journaling and my exercise, my stretching and all of that, and showered and all of those things, and eaten and all of that, and now I am getting ready for working. And basically what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to check in on my Spanish class that I'm taking right now, and I already have a pretty good idea of what I need to do this week, but I'm just going to check in on it, and then today is going to be more of some work related stuff. Okay, so I just checked into my Spanish class, and basically I have and if you want to know what that looks like, I made an entire video about my Spanish studies and all of that, where you can actually see into my course and what all of that is like. But basically I have already started organizing for this week, and I already did the reading, so I'm already there, and my next step is with the reading comprehension questions about some of the articles that I read. And so I'm going to do that probably later on today. Right now, I'm going to be working on my big project that I have going on right now, which is my Linguist DOJO course program. And so what that looks like is, if you can see over here, so I'm working on that within Canva. And these are some of the slides, so you guys have a little bit of a preview what that looks like. And these are just a couple of the lessons. So my project today is to go into a little bit into these slides, but mostly today I'm going to be working on writing some of the curriculum for my course. So that is actually housed in my Google Drive, so I'm going to go over there. My Google Drive for my course looks like this, so you can see each of my sections here. And yeah, so I'm going to be working today mostly on reading, and it'll click there. So I'm going to be in here working on my reading sections, and I'm going to probably be working on this one today, I think, since I haven't written that. I've kind of skipped around to some of these other ones, and yeah, I'm going to be going through and writing each of those. And I need to add, so Canva's going to come in because I need to add these covers onto those documents so that they look like this, so that they have nice pretty covers like these here. And here, I'll show you guys a little sneak peek of what this cover looks like. So each of my curriculum, my workbooks, activity books, however you want to call them, Each of them have a cover that I've designed like this, and then they have their header, and then they have their little design in the header, and then they have some kind of a visual, and then they are written out. For the document, I have it all written out with some spaces where people can think and write in their responses, so they can have that element of it as well. And yeah, so that is one of my lessons there that you guys just got a little preview of. So basically, if you have read Becoming Bilingual, then you know that the structure is essentially the same for the curriculum part, but it's quite a bit more than, I mean, it's significantly more than the book because it is a full-on course program. So I have to write out each of those sections, each of those workbooks, basically what I just showed you. That is one of the shorter ones, and it is 7 pages, I think. It's one of the shorter ones. And so each of my lessons within each of those modules, and each of those modules are on my website on the page if you're curious like what that looks like. But basically I have each of those modules or units, you might hear me use those two words interchangeably, but each of those I have sections within them. So then I am writing out each of those sections, and then I make a presentation in Canva. So I designed that with all of the information from there. And I know a lot of courses, they'll do like watch the presentation first and then do the reading and writing, all of that, but mine is flipped around. So mine is more of like a college level like seminar style course, because essentially you go through and read the document and really just read for the information and the questions, because I think that is a good reading habit to have, to go through and to have an idea of what you're going to be asked, and also have that content, and then listen to the presentation, which has some of that same information in it, but is going to the next level of understanding of that content. So that's where it's like basically the reading that you would do for a college course, and then the lesson, if you go in for a lecture, that's essentially the lecture with the acceptance, much more beautiful with all of the designs and all the elements and more engaging in that way. And then I have a group, so I have to record those as well. So that is like the third stage versus the document, and then the lecture, which is going to be recorded with those presentations. And let me show you guys, I'll show you guys what that looks like as well so you can see. So this one here, this is in Canva, and you have the cover, and then you have each of those sections, and there's not a ton of information on each of these slides. Some of them have a lot of information. Some of it's a lot of the same information that's in the document, but the new information comes from my presentation of these slides. So when I go, so I have all that information, it's like the content that is in the document that I've written and in the curriculum, and then my presentation of it is going deeper into insight of that content, that curriculum. So that is that level of it. And then the next level, sort of like that discussion element that you normally get within a course, comes from my Facebook group that is just for people who are enrolled in my Linguist Dojo program. And that part I'm still developing, but basically that part gets kind of developed as people are enrolling into it, which doesn't happen until April, so I've got a little bit of time with that. But how that works is if you've taken an online college course, it's pretty similar to that, in that I will post topics or questions or answer questions or topics within there, and then guide discussion through that. So it is the next level after watching the presentation, after reading through the curriculum, and then watching the presentation, then going back and answering the questions, doing the work that is asked of my students within the curriculum. And then that next level is a discussion to form your own ideas about what you have learned, and that's the idea within that group. But today I'm going to be working on writing the curriculum for reading. Writing for reading. So reading for those 3 sections, I'm going to be working on my first draft of that first document, and then I have the second one. I have done the first draft already, and then the third one I've done half of the first draft, so I may actually start with that, finishing that first draft, and then going back to that other one. And that is what my work day looks like for today.